everybody, ladies and gentlemen. This is Christelle Martinette, and we have here a different setup in this really difficult time, and difficult times can come from all over. This is a genderbread house. The theme I have chosen for my pick-a-card readings are sweet pick-a-cards. Sweet pick-a-card readings. And how am I going to work it this time? So I have here 3 bunnies. These are bunny bags with ears. You can see the eyes there and the teeth. They're funny kind of looking, but this is a blue bunny, this is a pink bunny, and this is a yellow bunny. A yellow bunny. Now, I have the blue wrapper, the pink wrapper, and the yellow wrapper. Look, inside of each bunny bag there are candy. There's candy, different kinds of candy here, a different type here, and a different type here. That is the surprise and the secret of the readings, and I'll show you them when we pick, after you pick your readings. The readings are all done. I brought them back here to show you what you'll be seeing, and what you'll be seeing are these the tarot decks. Here are the Happy Tarot, and I'll start with the Alice Tarot as a base, and which is in line with the theme, and then have this Happy Tarot, oracle cards, and then I have charms candy charms and sweets charms that I'm going to be casting as runes. And I have, just to give you an idea, a piece of chocolate cake, brownies in a pan, candy in a wrapper, and different types of candy in different wrappers. I've got a muffin, different types of, these are eclairs, eclairs with cherries, and this is lemon cake, lemon cake. And those I'll be tossing at the very, very end to see what we can glean from them for our reading and what they can add. So let's take a deep breath before you start to think and choose. And actually in the reading, I call this the blue bunny, the pink bunny, and the yellow bunny. When I started this reading, I called it the blue, and obviously it was pink, so don't rain on me. Don't shoot me, I'm only the messenger. Okay, so now let's take a moment to think about the blue bunny, the pink bunny, or the yellow bunny. Take a deep breath. Let's take another deep breath and then choose. Here we go, and off we go to the readings. Hi, all you blue bunnies, the people who've chosen the blue bunny bag and the blue bunny reading. Let's first of all, before any further ado, look inside of this blue bunny package. Whoa, okay. The blue bunny people got the chocolate. Now, what are we seeing here? Let me show you these one by one. We know that chocolate dates back to BC times, and it comes in all different forms, not only sweet. It's a symbol of love, of happiness and joy. These are teasers. Many of you might know these teasers. And there's also Dove caramel, chocolate with caramel. Wow, Snickers. There you go, Snickers. We have crispy rolls, Milky Way's crispy rolls. And I think that's about it for the chocolate. So, this is what if we could say that our life were just a bunch of love, joy, and happiness. Wouldn't that be wonderful? So let's take a look at first the Alice Tarot. I'll lay that, and I'll use the Happy Tarot too. These were shuffled off camera. Oh goodness, what if? 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 Oh, you blues, you blues. What if life really was just a bowl of cherries and a bunch of chocolate? Wouldn't that be wonderful? Look at this. We've got here, we have the Hermit. Here you go. The Hermit. We have the Sun. The Sun. The Seven of Coins. There you go. 7 of Coins. The 8 of Coins. Look at this sweet tooth. I'm getting cavities just looking at them. Temperance, the Temperance card. 2 of Coins. The Judgment card. There we have our Red Queen, the Judgment card. The 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands, happy fish there. The 4 of Wands and the King of Swords, a very sleepy King of Swords at that. What if you had all the time in the world? Blue Bunny people. What if you had all of the time in the world? What would your life look like? First of all, you would have a very secure base if you had time. And let's say that this is a moment when we are on lockdown, for most areas of the world are, and it seems that time has just started to stand still. And what if we had all of the time in the world, Blue Bunny people? That would create much more stability for you and much more happiness for you. Look at that. Much more happiness for you. Not only, what if we had the time to go within when we wanted? Go within when we wanted, and we could change what we're doing at will. Take the time to think about what you're doing and change it if you want to do it. There's also, what if we were in a world that work was given a structure of merit, and it was based on meritocracy. What about that? It looks as though there is a form of celebration for you in the notion of meritocracy, because people who have chosen this Blue Bunny bag, looks like to me, you're not only thinking about stabilizing your world around adaptable settings, around situations that need adapting, but you feel that you have no longer any time to spare, any time to lose, and that the moment is now. These cards are telling you, look, Blue Bunny people, this is the moment that you have to make decisions. And your decisions are going to be made, Blue Bunny people, once you have that time to look at all the angles and study all the angles. Now, the last card, outgoing card, is this King of Swords. And I'm going to take a look at that King of Swords first with the Happy Tarot. And there are just a few of them. I'm going to mix them this way and see what that outgoing card of the King of Swords. It looks like this could mean a person in your life as well, an air sign, a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius. It could well be. But let me show you what I yield here. Okay, look at this. All right, now these are so cute, these cards. I've got the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands. I've got the Empress card, and I have the Ten of Cups. You know, it looks like to me that the King, if it's not a person in your life, if it is a person in your life, there's a difficult situation and it is coming to a head, it seems. It's coming to a head. If it's not a person, it looks like you're preparing to bring forth a project that's going to bring you very much happiness. Not, this is a Ten of Cups situation, and the Ten of Cups always is a card of, going into the sunset with your family and being happy and being happily ever after. This is the fairy tale happily ever after card. But what did that cost you to make it possible for you to get there? You've had to go through quite a number of destabilizing moments, quite a number of difficulties there. And what happens then, this is a matter of you putting together something, concocting. I see the word concocting coming out. It's concocting a plan, bringing out a piece of cake, as if you're putting all the ingredients, you put it in the oven, and then it rises, you give birth to a big project. And it's that project. It looks like that the what if question here is answered by a world when you have time, such as now, and you make time for yourself. The happiness is in you rolling up your sleeves and working and taking the time to imagine a project that will allow you to become more stable, because you know that there's no better time than now with that Judgment card. I'm going to take the Happy Tarot again and look at them all falling on my table. Take the Happy Tarot and clarify this Judgment card. There you go. I've got the Seven of Cups, and this is a dual that was Seven of Coins, Eight of Coins. That's Seven of Cups. The 10 of Coins and the 10 of Wands. Now, it's interesting because both of these tarot decks, the Happy Tarot and the Alice Tarot, speak a different language from the wider rate, from the rider weight. And what I'm seeing here is this is the embarrassment of choice. The Judgment card here is to tell you, as we said, there's no time like the present, and you have a series of decisions to make. You have a series of choices that you can make. Each of them has 2 10 situations, okay? The tens. You got the cups, you got the wands, you have the, you come to a culmination. This period brings forth something that is so important to you. Look, I have to say, check when the new moon is around for you, because it looks like you're bringing forth something that you've been planning mentally. And what comes to you is, after the toil and trouble comes this abundance card. But again, it has to go through sort of a rite of passage, it looks like to me, with this Seven of Cups, where you have to choose between a certain number of different paths. I'm going to take some cards here on the Hermit, that Hermit card, and see what that brings out. Okay. All right. We've got the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Swords, the Emperor. So now we have both the Empress and the Emperor, and they are mirroring each other here in the reading. And we have the Hierophant, the High Priest. Look, there's a matter here. Now, going to take the oracle cards to show you, because I'm seeing here that the situation of you going within and using this time is has come up from a moment of not, I don't want to say out and out defeat, but after the fact, after the defeat, after the difficult time. And what I'm seeing is that you have your motivation, your energy has come from the opportunity that you see in front of you, that you can spread your wings, you can have a certain power over other people around you. And there is an element of love involved. Now, I'm going to take these destiny cards, these oracle cards. They're similar to the La Vera Sibilla, but quite different. They're quite direct. They're more direct than the Vera Sibilla. I'm going to take, first of all, these. Okay, I get it. All right, this clarifies that Ten of Swords situation. What has happened? All right, this is mourning, luto's mourning. You have satisfaction after an end that came about. This is, I believe, relating to a situation of the heart, an emotional situation. If it relates to a family member who has moved away, a family member who you will not be able to see for a long time, you nonetheless feel that it is a positive move for them. Now, the obstacles here, these are ostacoli, these are obstacles. These two cards that mirror each other, the mourning and the obstacles, have to do with a past situation that is giving forth now a matter of the heart. There's something here I'm going to take a card from under the deck here. And it is the Knight of Cups. Yes. All right. This is the Knight of Cups. You're in the market. Let's say blue bunny people, you're in the market for a new deal, a new emotion, a new romance. And many of you have already met with a new romance. You have crossed paths with a person that you have never seen before or you have never met before. But it seems that this is ripe. This is a new situation, a situation that is coming up now. It's very fresh. Okay, and of course, these tell you that it is after a rupture, after a break with someone in the past. That was the fortune. Having closed the door with someone has brought you an excellent deal. All right, has brought to you an excellent deal. Now, this may mean there may be people out there who have crossed paths with a person who's offered you a business, who's offered you a partnership in curating a business, in starting a business, and in creating something new, a startup, an initiative, a project, a research project. But it also means you having come into contact with someone who has a family business and they want you to be part of it. I have an itch. They want you to be part of it. I'm going to take now other destiny cards here for this Seven of Coins to take a look at what's going on. These cards, let me see. They fell out like they really want to talk. Let's take them in their positions as they. All right, so that's the Seven of Coins. Look, I have a clarifying situation. Chiarimento, a clarification. Then I have a husband. This could be a mate. It doesn't have to be a formal bond. This is a clarification with a partner. And the clarification has brought up a situation that brings harmony once again to the relationship for those of you who have a bond and are still together. How did this come about? How did it come about? It came about late. There's both here the messenger and the message. You caught wind of difficulties just too late. Everyone, you didn't see the writing on the wall, and you did finally see the writing on the wall and started being on the alert. So what does this tell us, this story here? It's telling us that finally you have seen the writing on the wall, and you were able, for those of you who are in a very long, tight bond, in a marriage or something very strong, similar to that, where there has been a clarification caused by the need for the clarification was caused by a situation that saw you learning about something after the fact had happened and then needing the clarification. And then you are now going to be on your toes. This could pertain to you or to your partner. Now I'm going to cast and pull some of these charms, and we'll see what they tell us. What they tell us. Okay. All right. Now we have here two different forms of a cake. We've got a rainbow, like Napoleon type cake. We have a slice of cake here, a candy with pink wrapping. I'm getting fat just looking at it. Chocolate cake, a chocolate slice cake. And two Napoleons here, two Napoleons. A larger candy, pink as well, and a cupcake, a yellow cupcake. Look, there is there's one more. There is another cupcake with a bonnet. There is a situation here, ladies and gentlemen, that is not all that blue, okay? It's not all that dark, but there is one element here that is not a risk, but a temptation. There is a temptation for you in this period, and that temptation is giving you a double-edged sword. What's the double-edged sword about? The temptation sees you wanting literally to have your cake and eat it too, but it also has you thinking, why was I encultured? Why did I grow up in a certain tradition, in a certain culture whereby I had to abide by certain rules? I couldn't be a ladies' man or a femme fatale because that was a no-no. That was against the rules. And you start thinking about that, and you start thinking, could it be bad for me to have thoughts of straying from a couple? Could it be bad for me to want pleasure? Want pleasure. Is pleasure always a difficult thing to attain? Do I have to hurt someone for my own pleasure? This is what you're thinking. And it has to do with these two situations, either work-related or something that has ended and you start anew, or a bond that is strong and it has fallen into a trap of becoming too complacent, and finally you've come up and realized something was wrong, caught wind of that, and now you're on your toes, or they are on their toes. The roles can be reversed. But here I see you around this period thinking, well, what if I had lived in a different culture? What if I were part of a community where there was more freedom in the way we coupled, and there was more freedom in the way we reached pleasure, and it would never be to hinder someone else, but seeing another partner for your own pleasure, but not to hurt another person. It has nothing to do with them. It has all to do with your pleasure. And so these are philosophical perspectives that you muse over during this period. And it's quite interesting to see because, this what if and what if there's always a temptation. There is the what if question implies a temptation. What if this happened? Could I possibly do that? If I did this, could I possibly do that? And it seems like to me that it serves you well, these musings over the philosophy of the emotions and what it means to be faithful. And you toy with these notions. What does it mean to be faithful? Can I be faithful even if I think of other partners? Can I be faithful even if I see someone and I have a physical relationship, but I don't give them my heart? Is that being faithful as well? And these are, of course, natural thoughts, especially when we have extra time on our hands, and maybe sometimes boredom may set in and the mind wanders. And if we're lucky enough, ladies and gentlemen, our mind will wander to such a pleasurable place. And pleasure just never always means eroticism, of course, or sex. Pleasure means the senses, my eyes, my ears, the sense of touch. And when you become more in tune with that, this is when the mind starts thinking of different notions of touch and what that means, and how if I go like this to my skin, it will hurt me, but if I go like that, it doesn't. And but this also gives me pleasure to a certain extent, so you're testing the waters here, and it's really, really interesting to see. And a lot of answers do come up, and there is a lot of interpersonal reaction with a very close person in your life that well, in this case, there are more than one, because I see a situation closing, and here there is one, and there may have been third parties, but essentially the bond is intact, remains intact. I do hope this was of help to you, ladies and gentlemen. And now I'll be going on to the next reading. Write to me under my video and let me know of what happens to you in this period, and if it resonates, and what parts of the reason what parts of the reading have resonated. It was a pleasure, and I'll be back. Bye-bye. Namaste. Bye-bye. Hey, you blue bunny. I was going to say blue bonnet people. This is the blue bunny choice. So let's see what's inside there. Let's see what's inside there. Whoa. Look at this. Look at this. These are licorice. These are licorice. Now, usually licorice, many people see them in black. These are licorice wheels. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to have some. Now, the interesting part of licorice, the psychologists tell us actually that if you dream of licorice in a dream, it has to do with our passionate desires, and wanting to push the envelope, wanting to push the limits, and enjoying it. And what's interesting about these is that they have a dual purpose. They're functional. You play with them and you twist them and you open them, and they give us, the sensation of truly playing. I can't resist. Licorice is my favorite. Is red licorice. Red licorice wheels like this. I'm going to choke. Now, the interesting thing here is that not only are they display all different colors, but the harmony behind the notion of a this sticks out. This is orange in relation to the others. This is the only one that's orange. As a matter of fact, look at this. Look at this. All right, they both have two sides, right? They don't only, the interesting part about these is they don't only unravel, but you can pull them apart. So it's they're a real game here. Now this has blue on one side and red and green. This is two colors. And so, this is sort of tells us a very important message here. It tells us that there's a sort of not sneaky or sniding, but there is a joy in wanting to do something with a twist, if that makes any sense to you. Now, what is interesting besides that, well, first of all, I get excited here. I want to try. Let me start with the Alice Tarot, and we'll open the deck. We'll open the spread, the first spread, and then I'll lay the Happy Tarot on the top. So what if we did have the opportunity to really, on the job, in our daily life, what if we had the opportunity to tease apart, because we're teasing apart our ideas, our desires. What if we could possibly tease apart and look at every single angle of an issue, of a problem, of a job, of a project, to understand both the positive and negative sides and how to turn the negatives into a positive and make it look like a game. This is, okay, these are, I love these cards. Wait till you see them. They're just so, the cardstock is beautiful, and they just, this is an intruder here. There you go. It was from the box. I forgot to eliminate it. Look at this. We've got the 10 of coins, the 6 of cups, the Hanged Man, the Queen of Cups, the Page of Wands, right as a focus card. Look at that. Look at the gold in the card. Look at that. It shines out. The Page of Wands as a focus. Then we have a 6 of coins. The Tower. The Tower. The 5 of Swords. And the 10 of Swords. All right, look. What if it were possible to see again that person that I truly miss, that person of the heart, my first love? What if it's possible? What if it were possible to finally see them again, just for a day, just for 2 days? But you do understand with this knighting, this 10 of Swords, what a difficult situation it would put you in. Here is the Tower, and the seeing a person from your past would bring you quite a number of difficulties, ladies and gentlemen, you pink bunny people. There's also here a situation where many of the group, many of you who are watching this, have a specific person in your heart, in your life, in your mind, more than anything else. And I have to admit that, well, it could be a water sign, it could be a Cancer, it could be a Scorpio or a Pisces. And what you know, that you have them, even if you're with them, even if you live with them, even if you date, even if you have some form of relationship, there is something about them that you need to put at a distance so you can analyze them. You can analyze them, see them, because there's something you're missing. You know, there's a certain mystery about them. It's not all mystery. It's not all mystery, okay? For those of you who are not involved with water signs, this pertains to you as well. It's not all mystery. There are certain phases, there are certain sides to these people that you know very well, and you can't even stand, you can't take it, you know. But there's a side to them. It's as if you want to jump into their minds and try to see what they're thinking, because it intrigues you so much. It really intrigues you. And it's almost as if you would like to go into their body, take over and look at the way they see the world. And it's not a desire, it's not a thought of trying to dissect a person and trying to get at, down to the bottom of who they are and understand everything. No, it's part curiosity, and it's part trying to make it easier for you to interact with them. Now, there's also this Five of Swords here. Oh, I don't think, did I show you? Yeah, I showed you these. The last line here, this Five of Swords. It's always a card that does talk of regrets. And of course, he probably regretted having to put on all of his armor because he couldn't stay on the horse. But on the more realistic side here, I'm looking at a situation where the people who have chosen this group have understood that it's a matter of not taking matters black on white and seeing that every single situation is and can be viewed in another way, can be viewed in a different way, and you'll see it from a different angle. And what does that bring to you? It brings you, first of all, it brings you the possibility of becoming lighter, reaching that lightness of being that we all strive for, because this third dimension world is so heavy and so difficult. And, the mirror that we look in gives us sometimes a real wake-up call if we want it to, because it is our minds that does that. And what I'm seeing here, because the incoming card here is this lovely 10 of coins, which is such an abundance card. And the outgoing card is this 10 of swords, and they mirror each other, and they are 10s after all. And why I say tens after all, it is a conclusion. There's a conclusion to a moment when there was much happiness. Today, you're coming from a position where, yes, I can say, give me a sheet, give me a document to sign. I'll sign on the dotted line. I'm done. I'm happy. I can go now. Goodbye, everybody. I'll go on to my next life, And so you're in that. But it's not as easy as that, because we're here to stay, at least for now, and we're looking at what if, and what if it would be possible to go back and look and see and play out that relationship with that person. What would it have brought to? What would it have brought to? And, it's really interesting because that actually happened to me after 30 years. I saw my my first, and you don't ever forget, and the feelings are always there. And he said to me, "What if, what if?" He actually said, "What if you were here, and what if it were possible? Would you still love me?" And my mouth was falling to the ground. I'm thinking, well, are you for real? Is this make believe, or come on, I'm not here. Don't bring me there. You know what I mean? This is not a game I want to play, but it's a game that our mind plays. And why does it? And this is why I used my example, because it's a what if game that allows you to see, would it have been different from what my situation is today with the person that I know? We would have probably killed each other. And it wouldn't have taken 30 years to do that. But you play this game so you can allow yourself to see yourself in different perspectives and at a different through different lenses. And what's really curious to me is this Page of Wands. I'm going to highlight that right away. And by golly, that is beautiful. I've got the beautiful sun, the sun. We've got the Two of Wands. That is a bone of contention between two people, really. And this is the Six of Coins. This Page of Wands brings you to a place where it was a happy place, okay? It really, truly was a happy place. And it was a happy place where, nonetheless, when two people are involved and they come eye to eye, they are not one, they are two. So there is a dance floor. There's an area where the dancing needs to take place and where we mustn't step on our toes. And if we want to dance properly, let me give you space and you take my space. And then, maybe we could even dance to a certain harmony, It's very interesting to see because I could say it might be daydreaming, but it really isn't. It looks like it's very real. It's very real pondering that's going on. I'm going to take a card here over this Five of Swords, a few cards here. And I've got the Death card here. The Death card, the Seven of Swords, and the Hermit. So I've got two major arcana and the Seven of Swords. Those of you who have been following me for a long time, you know that I don't read reversals because I read them in relation to the cards that come out, and they always have a reversed meaning, just like this Five of Swords may have when the Devil comes out. And I think, just between you and me, I don't do it because my eyesight is not good and it gives me a headache. And that's not a joke. So here, it's interesting to see because the Five of Swords is a matter of regrets. And you're trying to think, well, if I live in a situation today where I'm not 100% happy, what if I had done that? And immediately you're stopped in your tracks with this Death card because the regrets would have come out nonetheless. Now there's this Hermit card. I'm going to take a card from under the Alice deck, and there's the Four of Coins. Yes, there would have been a backtracking for you. The Four of Coins to me is similar to the Death card in that you arise from your ashes. I never read this as a card of miserly nature. No, this is a card that brings you to a notion of rebirth. And it comes through this what if process. But there are a lot of other things here. I'm slowly but surely getting to the other cards. And so don't let me get off track. Okay, because I have this Tower that's knighting with the Six of Coins. And I'm going to take those together. All right, let's see what we have. We've got the King of Coins. The King of Coins. We've got the Three of Cups. And we have the Three of Wands. Now, this is a really beautiful, actually lovely message for this generous Six of Coins, because it talks, well, you may be involved, some of you may be involved with an earth sign, which is a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. And look, I see you as being ready. It's as if I'm looking at you, those of you who chose this, on a springboard, and you're ready to jump out because there's so much you're gaining through this moment, this period. There's so much you're learning. Absolutely, so much. I'm going to take the Destiny cards, which is, they're similar. They're oracle cards, and they're similar to the Vita Sibilla cards. And let's see how they will help me to clarify this Ten of Swords. They tell a story in a way that's uncommon. Let's see. Success in business. A harmonious moment returning, and a clarification. You recall I said that the Ten of Swords is a card that marks the end of difficulty. That came out successful, and harmony is restored after a clarification. And this is subsequent to this what if thinking pattern. It's very interesting for me to see. I'm going to now show you, just like I cast runes. Oop, there's one out. Okay. And show you them one by one. We have candy. This is a sweet. It's called sweet. This is a slice of dark chocolate cake. We've got 2 slices of dark chocolate cake. And sort of a Napoleon type cake, a layered cake, rainbow frosting, pink wrapped candy, and a cupcake. Look, there's a lot of, I'm just going to, and there's another small pink wrapper candy. I'm going to come out with it. This is a period where those of you who have chosen this are really thinking of going out with someone else, of going back, of picking up the phone, and, get your ego is in there. It needs help, You need to hear somebody from the past. You need to hear it from somebody that you've met before. You want to see them. How can I say, the temptation is very strong, and you may just do that. I see that. However, just like we have yeast and rising, something that rises, the flour that rises, or something that is put in sweets to make them rise, even the eggs, just like that happens. I'm seeing that you eventually arise from that. You rise above that. And bring things under wrap, and even just are happy with a telephone call. That's all you need, because what is important for you, and you realize it, is the process of thinking, what if this, what if this, what if this? But like I said, that temptation is twofold. There's a twofold temptation. One is toying with the idea of you possibly picking up and running away, picking up and leaving a situation that you're in, because I've had it. And the other side of that sword is picking up and leaving and coming back. This is just temporary. You say to yourself, this is just temporary. And there is a real risk of that occurring. But I have to say, there is a stronger sensation of you bringing and putting things under wraps and covering it up, and never the twain shall meet, as they say. You will not go there again. This is momentary. And for many of you, it is just a matter of picking up the phone and hearing the voice of a person from your past, of someone that meant something to you, that was so important, that today just even hearing their voice would bring you back and bring you to a moment of peace and happiness. I'm very happy with these messages here, and I do hope it has resonated with you in some respect. So write under the video what parts of it resonated and how it resonated, what your story is, and tell me a bit of your story, if you don't mind sharing that with other people who will be reading that. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. It was a pleasure. Now let's go on to another reading. Hi there, this is the yellow bag. Let's take a look. First of all, what's in the yellow bag? At the beginning of the pink bag, I called it a blue bag, but that doesn't matter. Oh, look at that. Look at this. What do we have? We've got Chupa Chups. Chupa Chups. You remember, many of you have seen this, or you see these around. There's all different colors. Look at this. Let me show you the colors here. All right, what are these Chupa Chups? These Chupa Chups are lollipops, what we would call lollipops, and absolutely important ones, because Salvador Dali, was asked to draw the logo, to fashion the logo of Chupa Chups. And this was in 1969, actually, when he was called to do that. The Chupa Chups actually were created by a Spaniard named Bernat, Enrique Bernat. And chupa means in Spanish chupar, to suck, and that's how the name got its name. That's how it got its name. In the obituary of this gentleman, the creator of Bernat, he was quoted as saying, "I saw sweets didn't suit their main consumers, children. They got their hands sticky and ran into trouble with their parents, so I stuck a sweet on a stick." And that's the birth of Chupa Chups. So let's see. What's interesting about these, obviously, is the sucking and our return to a moment when we were breastfeeding as a child immediately after being born. It's a very natural sensation. It's a very natural act. And there's a bond there. There's a bond between a mother and child, and that the importance of that bond brings the interesting part of the Chupa Chups is that it evokes this natural. This is why it's so popular with children and people all over the world, really. I mean, who's never had a Chupa Chup? And they come in so many different flavors. They're probably the most successful selling lollipop in the world. So here we have our yellow group, and I'll start by putting out a spread with the cards of the, I have an intruder, spread with the cards of the Alice Tarot. These were mixed, shuffled off camera, so let's open them up and we'll take a look at that. Wow, these are such dramatic cards and they're so colorful. I love them. Who doesn't know Alice in Wonderland? Lewis Carroll. What if, look, what if I could, the Nine of Cups at the top, what if I had a wish that I could have anything I wanted? That's the Nine of Cups. So our incoming card is the Nine of Swords, and that's the energy that we come into the reading with. We come into this period with. We come into the answering of this question, what if? I've had it, and that is born of fear. Fear that you'll never reach what you truly desire. Now, what if we could? Let's see what else we have. The Ace of Cups. We have the Wheel of Fortune. These are gorgeous cards. The Nine of Coins as a focus. Think of that, the abundance of the Nine of Coins. The Justice card. The Strength card. The Unicorn and the Lion. The King of Cups. And the Lovers. There are two Lovers cards in this deck, and one implies choice and one implies love. And this is the card of love. Look, you yellow bunny group, what if I could have that person that I desire, that I so desire? What if I had the abundance that would bring me a period of ease and relaxation? What if there is a situation, this is the what if question. Now, why are we asking ourselves this way, these things? there is this mirroring effect between the Ace of Cups and the Strength card here. It's a very, very strong spread. I hope I can get it out to you. There's this, look at this Lovers card, Knights with the Wheel of Fortune. It is just, look, you yellow people group, you yellow bunny group. You have, all right, there may be, I'll try to give it to you little bit by little. There's a lot here on the fire. There's fear about a situation. Many of you may be going waiting for a legal ruling, and you're fearful of that. There's some difficulty there. You will come out ahead with this Strength card. Fear not. You will come out in a better place. I also see this beautiful situation, this knighting here and here, this story of love with someone. It seems to me that this is the beginning of a situation. You have just started or restarted with someone. I don't have a Six of Cups, but it seems to me that you do have a new beginning in love, which is born under a lucky star, I have to say. Born under a very lucky star. There is not one negative card, if we want to call the Nine of Swords here a card which is negative, but it's fear, and fear can be controlled. And this is fear of why don't we take a look at that first of all? Let's take a look at that fear and see what is the underlying problem with that fear. What does it come from? What does it pertain to? Let's see. Look at this. Look at this. We have the Page of Coins. This is the Happy Tarot. Cute cards. We have the Knight of Wands and the Page of Swords. And these pages here are talking about awaiting information. There is no doubt in my mind with what I'm looking at that both the ruling and the legal issues that you face, even in relation to another person in your past, this is going to work out well. And I see that because there is a particular bond with that person, okay? You come before a court, you come before a judge, you go get a lawyer because there's issues there. There are issues there. There's no doubt about that. But there is a moment when you are separated and when you are alone, and especially now in this period when we are alone, that you have the time to work things out. What if I could desire? What if I could have that response? What if I could have the ability to emotionally come closer to that person and communicate with them in such a way that will benefit us both in a Nine of Coins abundant manner? And what I'm looking at is definitely is the work that you're doing, and it's not only a mind game, it's not only a series of thoughts that you're entertaining. No, I see this as being a thought pattern that is going through your mind, and it does come into the notion of it's useless for us. You come to the conclusion here. It's useless for me to suffer from a situation where where no one is to blame. You've heard the expression, the blame is in it. Well, you probably haven't. If you want to take the blame, we say that the blame is something that is never attributable to one person. There's always fault on other parties, on each of the parties that interact. And this is a time when you start to see those faults, yours, theirs. And it looks like to me that you're coming around full circle to that wheel of fortune is really turning and helping you see the sides of the story that made it possible for you to finally understand where the issues lie and where the issues in the past were difficult for you. Now, why I'm saying this is that the what if question here, the what if answers that you give yourself is turned to the future in your mind. It's turned to the future, and you start to think, if I had difficulty with this person that I used to be with, what tells me that I'm not going to have that difficulty again with a new person? And what happens in this time frame, and what happens when you ponder on that question, because these readings are really universal in the sense that whenever you pick this up and you think to yourself, what if, and you look, okay, what if, and go and see Christelle Martinette's reading, and that reading has relevance to you when you see it. It's not this week's reading, okay? It's an evergreen question that we ask ourselves, and this is why I like these pick a card readings the way that I'm doing them. So you ask yourself, what can I do to avoid all of those different difficulties that I have? But not only do you ask yourself this, it's something almost that you've resolved. And the resolution brings you to a moment where you start thinking that life is going to be possible again. It's absolutely possible. There is life for me in emotion. I have an emotional life. I will find love. I will be happy. And the key is this King of Cups. The King of Cups energy. For those of you who do not have a water sign in your life, the King of Cups energy is one of benevolence. And this is the energy that I'm looking at. It is the benevolent nature that brings you to a place where you become comfortable in your skin, as the French say, bien dans sa peau. You become comfortable with who you are actually, even knowing the choices that you've made, the difficulties of the choices you've made, and understanding them. It brings you to a position of acceptance. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at the Justice card. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I've got the Four of Cups. Four of Cups. And look at that face. Look at that little face. Look at that face. A frown. The Four of Cups. We've got the World card. And we have the Page of Cups. Look, this is new life force in an emotional situation. It's as if your body is being imbibed with love for the first time, but we know it's not the first time, especially for those of you who are resolving an old situation. But it is you're thinking to myself, okay, let's say you're 40, you're 60, you're 70, you're 30, and you think in your mind, I have reached this age and now I'm finding love again? And you're so surprised. You're so surprised after you've had children, after you've divorced, after you've got together and left and go back and forth and back and forth. You come to an age, and 30 might seem late for you. 40 might seem late for you. 50, God is late, you think? And 60, gee, I'm getting old. And then, so it doesn't matter. The age here is always, love coming into your life is always such a surprise. I've got this Four of Cups that is such a cute card. I'm going to clarify that with these Destiny cards that are similar. They're oracle cards. They're similar to La Vida Sibilla cards, but they're more direct. Okay, here we go. This Four of Cups, that I don't see it as a a boredom card like the Rider-Waite's universal meaning always show. I see here that something is missing. Okay, now I have here the husband. All right, the husband can be a lover, can be a companion. Surprise and generosity. This is definitely, if it pertains to a legal situation, that I saw before, there is a surprise coming your way, and it will be a ruling in your favor. If it pertains to a person who is coming in, it is a situation that it comes up roses. Definitely comes up roses. I want to take more of these cards over the Ace of Cups. Okay, good. Let's see. All right, we have satisfaction. We have obstacles, and we have success. It looks like, well, the success involves both the ruling and any situation that requires change or has required change in terms of what do you call these new companies? Not an upstart, a startup. Sorry, a startup, a new business venture, a new project, anything that is new. It has overcome obstacles and will be successful. There is a certain sense of satisfaction there. It has to do with beginnings. Now, that may be involved, and I'm going to throw it out there because it looks like it's involved to a love situation. That may be involved, or it will involve a person that does come into your life. I'm going to take these three of these destiny cards over this King of Cups. Okay. All right. Now, involving the situation, the fear card, remember, there's a knighting relationship here. Imbroglio, trickery, right? Trickery, a messenger, and an enemy. Could be male or could be female. There is here a situation. If there are among you who are listening involved in a legal situation with a former husband, former partner, that had to do with someone, a third party as well, that had to do with a third party. Now, I'd like to take these charms that are sweet charms and cast them, oops, just like runes, and see what they have to tell me. I have a muffin. Whoop. I've got, let me see if I can hold it up. A muffin with chocolate chips, a chocolate chip muffin. This looks like a divine, this looks like a, of something very chocolate, something, what do they call that cake? Well, let's say it's a chocolate cake, small pan, when you cut it in squares, brownies, okay? A brownie cake. And these are 2 eclairs, all right? They're 2 eclairs with cherries on top. I have a glazed cupcake, vanilla glazed cupcake, and a strawberry glazed cupcake. I stand corrected. I have 3 eclairs, and candy with blue wrapper, and 1 with pink wrapper. Well, I have to tell you that there is a division here. There will be a division in terms of those of you who have something to share or to divide or divvy up with someone from your past. There's a legal situation involved. It will be divided. It will not be as contentious as you thought it would be. There is a twist here, a surprise ending to that. There's also a how can I say it? There's also a situation where deep down in your mind, those who are listening to this yellow bunny reading here, that deep down inside that what you're doing is for the best. The changes that you are making, the new person that you're meeting potentially, everything that you're doing is taken. The steps that you are taking are one step at a time. And, it's done with much care. It's done with much caution. And you actually feel that now is the time for you to be happy. And that what if I had a genie in a bottle and I could rub it and I had my desire? What if that is, that's going to happen? I'm telling you, that's what I'm seeing. There are things that, like I said, surprised ending. There are things that you do not expect that will be positive things that come of this situation precisely because you took the time, you made the decision, which was a very difficult decision, a very heart-rending decision, a fearful decision. You did it, and it will be putting you in such a better place. I do see threes here. There are threes, and threes are a high. It's like having the Hierophant and the High Priestess here. There is a high level of love bond here, a high level of spirituality, and the temptation is not there to mess things up, to stray, to, I don't want to be righteous, but I'm seeing that you really have intentions that are sound. You want to share the love. You don't want to enclose yourself in a relationship that will smother you and you will smother them. There is the potential here for great happiness with your what if meandering. You've been on the right side. I would like to say on the right side of the law, but that's not the case. I'm seeing that you have made the proper choices, and those choices are now rewarded, ladies and gentlemen of the Yellow Bunny group here. I hope this was of help, and do write to me under the video and let me know which parts resonated, and tell me a little bit about your stories if you don't mind sharing it with the others. That would be really helpful to me, and that would be of interest to me. And until we read together again, namaste, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.